Yo, it's Guido. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in this episode of World of Tanks. And we have Jeffrey from the clan Next Gen and his T-32 Tier 8 American Heavy Tank. Hey, let's talk about shot selection and weak points. Shot selection and weak points. I think anybody would probably say, most anybody would probably say the T-32 is one of the worst Tier 8 heavy tanks. Now, some of you may be big fans. It certainly has some strengths, but let's watch what Jeffrey does here, because he's already put a shot into this M449. He's being a little bit foolish, and what Jeffrey's going to look at here or show us is shot selection and weak points. See how he's up underneath the track on the M449 is being a little bit silly, and right off the bat he has put two shots into him. Now the thing about the T-32 is that the pen is terrible. As I get my mouse working here, 198 for the standard round, and it doesn't even have the courtesy to give you a heat round. It has 245 on its APCR. There are some Tier 8s that are close to 245 with their standard round, or much closer than 198. 198 is preferential territory, and we'll just watch as Jeffrey sort of is very careful, looks for shots, takes one in there and bounces. He was trying to sneak one into and up under the tracks right there. The nice thing about APCR is heat would not be able to do that because the track would eat it, but the APCR has a chance to get through there. He takes a shot at the hatch of the 100.01. He's probably going to need his APCR to make that one happen. So he's cognizant of his tank's deficiencies, and that's its penetration, and he's being very careful and looking for the right shot here. So he avoids just shooting into the side of the 100.01. He's sort of looking around right here. He's continued to use his regular AP. Now he's trying to sneak another one in here, see if he gets it. And all of a sudden, another tank makes himself available. He waits, and look at that. A couple shots go in. The M449 probably thought Jeffrey had fired, comes forward and gets another shot up under. And just a great example of shot selection. Now watch this. He sneaks one in under the Carnarvon, who just stuck out there, the AX. He knows that its lower plate is a bit weaker than the rest of them out there, and gets a shot into it. And it's just a really nice job of understanding the weaknesses of his tank and working towards its strength. The thing I haven't mentioned, obviously, is that a T-32 has a very strong turret. So it does have some strengths. Very good gun depression, which allows him to use this spot. A bit permissive in this particular battle, because there's no artillery. So if artillery gets up there about where the two Scorpions are sitting on the enemy team, they can lob shots in here. So Jeffrey's able to sneak it in here. Look at that, just right up underneath the lower plate of the 100.01, who exposes that and allows Jeffrey to shoot in. Look at what he's aiming at. He's looking for another shot like that, seeing if he can sneak one up under there. That one doesn't quite go, but the point is, he's no kidding looking for that. No kidding looking for that spot, and just very carefully minimizing the exposure of his tank, and he's already up to 1,955. And really, as a brawling tank, this thing is not that great unless you're able to use a position like this. So this is, there's not a lot of places on maps that allow you to do that. Look at that, he snuck that one right in underneath into the lower plate. The 100.01 has to be absolutely irritated at this point. Now here comes the TS5 and bounces a big 400 hit point shot off of the turret of Jeffrey's tank. The AT sort of lost his mind, went droning in there and died. And they're starting to create an advantage here, and he's looking for a shot. Gets up underneath the TS5, but those things still have pretty strong lower plate. He is a bit look up. That's going to help flat plate that just a little bit. Probably Jeffrey here. I might have finally went ahead and pressed 2 once I knew I was taking on these more heavily armored tanks. I don't think there's really anything, there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no, you're not losing any honor, let's put it that way. At this point, you've done some good damage with your AP. It looked like he was initially going to go to the APCR, but changed his mind and went back. Pershing is going to sneak one. He sneaks one into a weak spot. Notice what he looked at. Pershing stopped and gave him a nice zoomed in shot on the hatch. And that's, again, just shot selection and placement, knowing weak spots. A really nice job by Jeffrey so far. 2,600. Looks like we have some shenanigans with the ISM up there. Not really sure what he's doing. Jeffrey's starting to push in. And I think right now I might have been a little bit more aggressive right here to get in here and start helping these guys because your team has pushed them back. There you go. Now you're getting up in on them. Looking for a shot here. Maybe just track the TS5. That's another thing you can do. And nice job getting in underneath there on the weak spot. One thing you can do with a low penetration tank, in a situation like this where you are starting to surround the enemy tanks, is you can just accept a track and you're going to get that nice assist damage, which will help you in your total damage for things like marking or just simply experience. But it does get tracked, and then he selects the hatch and takes down the hatch. So nice job overall there, Jeffrey, on that corner. Really just a clinic for everybody as far as being patient, knowing the weaknesses and strengths of your own tank, the shot selection, looking at the right place to shoot, and I'm going to throw out patience again because there was some nice patience going on right there. There are times where you need to be a little bit more aggressive and push it harder, but look at this thing. The shell just hooked right and hit him. That was very bizarre. There are times where you need to be patient. There's times when you need to really push in there and be very aggressive. And because of the way that fight was going, Jeffrey was doing a really nice job of being patient in there whilst still taking shots. So really nice. I'm going to speed this thing up a little bit. It looks like the ISM has decided to take a siesta, and he is headed off into the garage, or potentially has been locked out of his account for X number of hours. The ELC, you needed a little more lead fire on that one, Jeffrey. I went fast past it, but you were kind of zoomed in right at him. I'd have zoomed out, led him a little bit, waited until I reloaded and taken that lead fire. Now we're looking for 3 TDs. This is kind of a weird sequence in here. You got a lot of tanks pushing in. It just takes them forever. The problem is there's a bit of a crossfire. What's happened is, we'll see this in a minute, the Scorpion has fallen back to the peninsula over there, unbeknownst to Jeffrey's team at the moment. There he is. Now they know, so he's trying to back out. Jeffrey sneaks a shot. Now he's down to 44 hit points. Jeffrey, I think rightly so, says, well, my team will take care of him. We'll go ahead and push up here with my good hit points, but watch how this goes. Let's speed this up just a little bit. Jeffrey comes up, he gets lit. Looking for a shot on the Canon Jagdpanzer. Takes a hit from behind by the Scorpion, and nobody's going in there to get him. I'm assuming because they're worried about the Canon Jagdpanzer, and then up above you got an AMX CDA 105. And it is a bit tricky if they just sort of run in there. They may take a bunch of hits, but look at them all just hanging out down below. And then the Canon gets him, and the Scorpion gets him, and Jeffrey's probably sitting there going, what on earth is going on right now? Sneaks a shot right past and into the, what was it, the Canon? The CDA kills the 152, and then we mess around with this guy for a while. I'm just going to speed this up because it takes them a while to find him. They finally get rid of the Scorpion G. This is a funny sequence because he's looking for him, he gets spotted. Up goes the IS-3. The MX thing is fast. He turns around, he goes right through the 69. He kills the ISM, and all of a sudden we have a situation developing. As the AMX is broken free. Jeffrey down to a 1 shot, and he bounces one, then he bounces off the CDA. The CDA kind of charges at him a little bit here. Jeffrey's waiting for him. They're just about to capping it out, and he's messing around with the gets 1 shot and messing around with the Scorpion G, and here he comes, and we're gonna get a kill note. And we get a victory right there without killing the AMX CDA 105. Jeffrey, I think I would have just ran forward and tried to ram him. You might have taken the rest of the hit points off of him at that point, but you end up with a victory. Nice job. 2 kills, 4,706 damage, 2,060 bounce, mostly off the strength of that really good turret and playing it correctly. And I just thought this was a great example for everybody on the learning side of my channel, where he knew his tank's strengths, he knew its weaknesses, and he really worked around that gun. Really worked around that gun. Did a nice job with it. Didn't even end up shooting any gold as far as I can tell. 320 damage alpha on that gun and 198 pen. So really kind of a low alpha and kind of a low pen, but man, did he really make that sing. He did mention in his note to me that he was a little bit worried about the grind. Hopefully the rest of your grind's going. They're probably not all going this well, Jeffrey, I would imagine, but hopefully it's going well. I kind of liked the T-32. I think arguably it's one of the worst tier 8s out there, but if you play it right in the right situation, it can really do a nice job, and I think we got a great example of that right here. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it, and we will see you.